Star Wars Episode 9 was filming in Jordan. We all know that much by now, but who was there? I know. These guys know. You're about to know. So welcome back to the Resistance broadcast, everybody. I'm John Hoey. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are on YouTube. If you're watching us, hello. We're also, as always, on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify, Google Play, wherever you're hearing us. We are so glad you are with us today because we have a great show. Happy Monday to all of you. Hope you had a great weekend. We have some news to talk about. Like I said, some Episode 9 stuff. We have some stuff to talk about. A new YouTube channel that Star Wars is launching. Crazy stuff there. We also, of course, have your questions later in the show. So let's get into this thing right now. The base is open. The news is popping. James Baney and Lacey Gillerin. How are you guys? Welcome back.
So we did our Phantom Menace commentary recently. That was because we hit that first goal. I know. Also, I'm reminded because I got my Sour Patch Kids box still sitting here.
Evidence.
Evidence.
And from,
I'm looking at
from
it,
your
I'm thinking,
chewing
man,
noises.
that was so much fun. I love doing that. It was a great time.
It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm James Baney.
And that's Lacey Gillerin.
Yeah, I got my
coming
sweet
to us
sweatshirt on.
from Florida.
I am
Hey-o.
on location for nothing.
So Lacey's going to sneak into Galaxy's Edge, sneak onto the Falcon, and try to fly that thing back to us here at the Resistance. We'll let you know
I
what
also got
happens.
some sweet Lucasfilm merch. I ended up
Very
with a
cool.
friend.
Very cool.
And not to mention that as of right now, while you're listening to this recording, I am in Florida.
James is in Florida.
And he
Man.
doesn't want to hang out with me. I mean, what?
No, we're going to hang out.
Guys, I'm the lone
That's
wolf.
crazy, Lacey. I'm going to meet you for the first time in like, I don't know.
James is going to run the other way. He's going to be like...
I'm going to get like, oh my God, she brought a shirtless Kylo Ren with her.
James,
Disney has
always,
Disney has a new
Yeah.
meetup at Launch Bay.
Yeah.
James is going to tap the Stormtrooper on the shoulder, and the Stormtrooper is going to be Lacey, and then he's going to run in the other direction like Han Solo.
But then it's going to come into a joke that every ride he goes on, I'm the attendant. He's going to go buy a churro. I'm the person selling the churro.
Churros, yes. Yeah. Or
With
the
a
pink,
mustache on every time.
Or maybe if Lacey like just walks around with a bag of pink stuff that James debuted at
Hey,
the Phantom Menace commentary that we did.
I would love some more pink stuff if anyone
you-
wants to make me some.
If you guys are wondering what we're talking about, we recorded and posted our audio and video commentary for the Phantom Menace for our Patreon users. If you are thinking about that or haven't done it yet, head to patreon.com/resistance broadcast. And for $2 a month, a cup of coffee, you can get that commentary and pretty much all of our stuff on the page. We got a lot of daily stuff going on up there. So hop on over, check it out. But guys...
So many jokes that people brought up after the fact that I was like, I forgot I even said that at one point.
Same here.
You know? So good.
My favorite is still, storm's coming in, Annie.
Yeah. James actually did the voice for that lady. She just did the acting. Kind of like Aunt Beru in A New Hope wasn't the actual actress's voice, and James provided the voice of that old lady. And I made all that up, so there you go. Guys, we got a show to get into here. You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, guys, poll results, as always. And this week, got a little heated, got a little close, got a little toasty.
This was a tough one, John. Oh, man.
It was close, let me tell you. So we asked you, if one of these four characters were to die in Episode 9, who do you think is the most likely? And I want to say hi to all you guys who are like, how about none of them? Guys, just
John's over here just with the big pot, just
pick one. Come on.
da 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 da.
Yeah, stirring the pot, making the butter. Here we go. So our results are in, and I was a little surprised by who got what ratio here, but let's start it off here. Only 3% of you out there said Rey would be the most likely to die.
Who thinks Rey's dying?
3 out of 100 people, probably. That's my guess. If math is still a thing. 12% said Finn. Poor Finn. Come on, guys. 40% of you said Poe Dameron. What did Poe ever do to anybody besides kick ass? Come on, guys. And the winning vote went to my favorite character in the sequel trilogy, but I think he's gonna die. His name is Kylo Ren. So Kylo Ren, according to the Resistance, over 1,000 of you voted, so thank you so much. 45% of you said out of these 4 characters, Kylo Ren is the most likely to die in episode 9. Guys,
So wrong.
We'll start with, obviously, who's most affected by this poll. James Baney, what did you think about the results of this?
Well, number one, I saw this poll and I was like, okay, all right, let's see. And I don't know. I spent so long. I was like, man, this is hard. Who could it be? And I'm like picking all the different ones. And then I don't know what it was, but like for some reason, my brain kept skipping over Kylo Ren, like as if he wasn't an option. I was just like, could it, Poe, Finn? I don't know, between the two. And then I was like, oh, what am I doing? Kylo Ren. Yeah, obviously he would be the one.
Right.
He would
so
be
did you wind up
the one. Yeah, I did pick Kylo Ren, but man, when you said this got heated, it was heated before this poll even went down because our Patreon chat was like going crazy one night. We were just like in total heavy
It was
debate.
legit a 3-hour roast.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was in it for
all of it was awesome, but it was just like it was funny because like everyone was like, that has to be on purpose. That poll the next day has to be on purpose.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. The show is separate.
John's just like, what?
So, yeah, I do the Homer Simpson
Just
into the
fade.
bush. So, Lacey, what do you think? Were you surprised by the results? And what did you vote for? Because we know you didn't vote Kylo Ren.
I don't think that it's that surprising because I think a lot of people want him to die. Not like want him in the sense of like, Adam Driver sucks, I want him to die. I think just a lot of people want the character Kylo Ren to die. They think that's the only way this character arc can end is with death. I did not choose him because I don't think he's going to die.
Okay.
I think he's going to be redeemed and I think he's going to be happy and alive. Cool. I think Poe's going to die. And I said that a couple months ago when we talked about who we thought was going to die. I think it's going to be Poe and I think he's going to die in like a doing this for the team. And then he's going to die.
You know, a lot of people said they used the reason that, he originally died in the first draft of the script of The Force Awakens. But, I don't think
that's my reasoning.
Yeah, I don't sign up for that. I mean,
I can't see Rey dying. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Han Solo was a lizard in the first draft of Star Wars. So, I mean.
Yeah, you just
and then we
roll
got
with the
Han
punches.
Solo.
Like, that maybe that was the case at one point. But since the movies have come out, they've done something different with all these characters. Like, it's not going to be revealed in episode 9 that Rey is actually Kira just because her name was originally Kira.
Right.
Like,
there's so many things that happen through the draft process and development that you can't even recall what the first thing was. Because originally Finn was named Sam and he was like a completely different character than the Finn we know now.
Right.
But I just think also, and I'm not just saying this as a cop-out of like, oh, well, obviously Kylo's not going to die. I honestly think Poe's going to die. I think that would make sense for him to die only because he's watched Holdo sacrificing like herself in the last movie. He's seen a lot of people die doing noble things. He's gotten out of a lot of things that normally someone might die. Like, I don't know, flying into that, what is it called? The building that they fly into in The Force Awakens. Like, not a normal person would fly into that building like that and get away with it, but Poe did. So you kind of have to wonder, like, when is his number up, so to speak? Like, when is that last pass gonna be?
When you say fly into the building, you mean Starkiller?
Not Starkiller. It's the thing, thermal oscillator.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. I was thinking of like what the term was.
Yeah.
Like, thermal oscillator.
It's always they make up some science term. They're like, what sounds like it's hot? I'm like, thermal.
But there has to be some thermal oscillator over here. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, normal people wouldn't fly into that building, right?
Right.
They'd probably not be able to do that. And then in The Last Jedi, he flies through all these cannons and he doesn't die. And then all his friends die and he's just like, hooray, I'm the hero. Yeah. And like, there's only so many times that like maybe his number's up. I don't know. I just thought that was more probable than.
I mean, a lot of Luke's friends died, and he was like, "Yay, I'm the hero" at the end of that movie too.
Well, you know what, guys? We had a best comment on this
no.
one.
Here we go. Okay.
And it was by, it looks like the Jedi from The Office in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We have Tobi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, the worst Kenobi.
We don't think it's the same Toby, so no offense to this Toby. At T0BEst. Tobiest with a 0 in there. Yeah,
Gotcha.
maybe I wonder if
The
Tobiest with
Tobiest
an
of the
O is
Tobies.
taken, so they needed to do T0Beest. Anyway, Tobi-Wan Kenobi said, "Although I don't want it to happen, I picked Kylo Ren because for some reason I just believe it will happen because I don't want it to happen."
Toby, don't say that.
If that makes sense. Oh gosh, just don't kill him off. So
Yeah, he says he doesn't want it to happen.
Toby went through all of their emotions in
The
that
5
one tweet,
stages
so-
of grief.
Yeah.
Yes, we thank you so much,
Acceptance
Toby,
is the
for that.
final one.
Yeah, and, this is the first time I'm seeing
It's
this
my
handle.
fault he died. It's his fault he died.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's just
right.
all these different.
And acceptance.
Yeah,
This is the first.
it's nobody's fault he died.
This is the first time I'm seeing Tobi-Wan Kenobi come across the Resistance. So hope you stick around, enjoy the show, and
Toby.
join us for the future. So welcome. All right, guys, that is it for polls. Probably our longest poll discussion in a long time. But
It's a
Yeah.
fierce discussion.
we got more coming. Speaking of Poe Dameron and other characters, James Baney, the Resistance Report. What do we got cooking this week, buddy?
It's the Resistance.
How hot is it in Jordan? It's got to be pretty hot.
It's thermal.
So the cast of episode 9 is what is cooking because they're all in Jordan this week.
I love that James yells, but he doesn't really yell because he doesn't want it to blow out the mic and like get
That's
overpowered. So
exactly-
he goes, "It's also that," like he like raises his voice, but he
It's
doesn't.
so crazy in here. Woo!
Well,
The yelling whisper.
John's over here like,
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
John yells like off the mic, so it still works.
Right.
But
like,
no, we got yeah. we got a full cast, guys. Episode 9 looks like just about everybody, every main character, everybody we'd like to see generally is showing up here in Jordan
Not
in
Adam.
one way or another. Most of the stuff is coming from Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, Facebook, who knows? It's just like all
whatever
these little
those
social
kids
media-
are on
Actually,
nowadays.
I'll be honest. The one person who knows is John Hoey because he wrote this article. He was the person that was piecing together all these little things about where we saw this picture, when we saw this. That's somebody who knows somebody in the cast, which doesn't confirm, but basically confirms that they have to be there too. He'll get into all that. John, let me get your take on this. What caused you to write this article in the first place, and why is it important that all of these characters are all in the same location?
Yeah, so today, news has been slow with Star Wars lately, and not that that's a good or bad thing, to keep 9 kind of a surprise or whatever, but and this doesn't really spoil a lot of things, so guys, don't worry too much. But if you are a spoiler-free person, maybe skip ahead a few minutes. But anyway, I saw the tweet by Anthony Daniels today, and he does these like mocking spoiler things. He's like, "Scoop spoiler."
Right.
I miss Wadi Rum. It's raining here in Pinewood, and I love that warm weather in Wadi Rum, which was the village in Jordan that they filmed in for a few weeks. So that's him pretty much right there. And he mentioned 2 sets, and he said the whole cast and crew, we miss it there. And so that's, you got C-3PO right down there, and that leads me to think R2 was with him. And then you take it from there, and you remember weeks and weeks ago, every site reported Instagram and all that stuff from John Boyega and Oscar Isaac's wife, piecing those 2 guys down there in Jordan at Wadi Rum. So you have Finn, Poe, C-3PO right there. Then I believe yesterday someone posted a photo of Daisy Ridley touring Petra, Jordan, which is about 70 miles north of Wadi Rum. Why would she be in Jordan, coincidentally, during the time Episode 9 is filming? Come on.
That's definitely her, by the way, if anybody wants to know. They're blurry photos, but it's definitely her.
Yeah, so we found... I found
Everybody else
She's
in
worn
that
those
picture,
gym
though, all
pants
the-
before. She
Yeah.
wears them all the time.
all that speculation, people are like, well, that's definitely Adam Driver. That's definitely John Boyega. And then like all the comments are like, that guy's white. Like, it's not even.
No, this girl.
I don't know.
Daisy.
I saw.
Definitely Daisy.
So
No,
we
I
found-
think it's Daisy Ridley, but
her.
everybody else is like, they're all there in this picture. So it was super weird.
wow.
I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, I'm like, no,
I ignored
none of these people.
Yeah,
are
I
there.
ignored all that because
Clearly
I saw.
George Lucas.
Yeah, right. There's
That's
Spielberg. all of a
George
sudden.
Lucas right there on the camel. There's no one on the camel. Like,
They never left the production of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. They've been there since
Yes.
1988. It's great.
yeah.
So it was definitely Daisy Ridley there, and I saw that on Twitter, and I saw that some of the comments that got out of control were like you were saying, oh, it's Adam Driver too, blah blah. No, it wasn't. But we found out where the source came from, was a guy on Facebook who was doing a tour that Daisy Ridley happened to be a part of, and he said, this was Daisy Ridley. She was part of our tour group, and this
What an
was
idiot.
yeah. And he's like, and I'm so jealous of that guy, man. To only be that close to Daisy Ridley, right? But he said it was right around the time they were done filming in Wadi Rum, I guess. And then we also saw via Jonas Sotomo's wife's Instagram, which was a public profile, so we weren't being too
With her
invasive
baby,
here.
yeah. Yep.
She posted her in Petra as well. They were touring a lot of the locations where they did film the exterior for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where the Grail Temple was, that sort of thing. Again, 70 miles north of where Wadi Rum is, so maybe after they were done filming, they did a little sightseeing, makes a little sense, before they had to head back to rainy Pinewood, as Anthony Daniels put it. So there you have it. So you have Finn and Poe, you have Rey, you have C-3PO, and Chewbacca all in this location. Now, is it Jakku? I think it's Jakku. So it has me thinking that everyone that was in that group, we have everything we need. They're all working together in this movie, and I like hearing that. I like that everyone's not going to be separated like they were in The Last Jedi. Makes me really excited. And then that's where the speculation kind of kicks in. So I'll bring it back to you, James, to what you guys think about all this, and is it Jakku, and what do you guys think about these characters being together?
Honestly, we'll get to whether I think all the characters are going to be back together later in our Ask the Resistance questions.
Okay. Oh, by the way,
But-
go to StarWarsNewsNet.com. Check out the article and all the other news every day.
Yeah. No, but I think it does make sense. I think that ending the movie with characters together in even if it really was like one final scene, like for instance, like pretend that the Endor battle didn't happen, but just that last scene where like Lando's there and Leia's there and Han's there and Chewbacca's there. You know what I mean? That very last little thing where they just show like, hey, here's the whole group together, which is also the cover of the Shattered Empire series. But yeah, that if only just to kind of end like that and have everybody all together in one room. And I guess I know like The Last Jedi kind of did that too, but I don't really think they kind of ended that movie like on a positive note with everybody all together, like, yay. So I don't know. I think that this movie does have to pull everybody together, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Lacey, does this not make sense, or do you think there's any possibility that like maybe the final war happens on Jakku, right? Mm-hmm. But Poe and Finn are over there, and then like Kylo and Rey are over here, and they're not together, and they don't really have scenes together, but like it's kind of on the same planet, so therefore that's why they're all shooting the location. So it doesn't really say, could it mean that it doesn't really point to that as a plot point in the movie? Is it still possible that like these characters just happen to be filming in the same location, which could be a soundstage? Like you never know.
I think that they're definitely in the same scene together. I think it's either an opening battle or an ending battle. I think that's the only
Or a
explanation.
middle between battle.
I don't think so, because you don't really have a big battle in the middle of a movie. It's usually the beginning or the end. But they do, in screenwriting, say that you have to have some type of action scene in an action-adventure movie every about 17 minutes. You have to have some type
That's
of...
called pacing, folks.
Yeah, you have to have some type of action-y scene to keep the story moving. But I can't see them all being in this location, this specific location area, without them all shooting at the same location. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And like, why would they fly everyone down there and pay for the budget and pay for the production costs of having all those staff and all the crew and all the cast members down there if they weren't all shooting together.
Sure.
Because, you know, John Boyega is pretty open on social. Everybody knows that. And I think Disney kind of expects that. Oscar really isn't, but his wife is. So that's why he kind of snuck in there. It's kind of like his birthday or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you don't see Daisy because everybody knows Daisy doesn't want to be on social. So I'm sure they actively make sure she's not in it unless she says it's okay, like with Josh Gad. So I can't see them not being in the same area. Okay. I just don't see that happening.
Do you guys, two things. One, I've heard from a couple of people, not like inside or anything, but people who have said they realize they've heard or they've seen in interviews that J.J. Abrams likes to shoot his movies chronologically. I don't know.
Well, this is the end of shooting, kind of, right? Because they end in like February-ish.
They end in the end of February, so they're over the 50-yard line.
Watch this be a middle battle, like James said.
They're in the second half. So what if they have to go to Jakku for some resources or stuff left from the Empire or something to do with Rey's origin? Like, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean this is battle, because if this is all our good guys together, maybe they're just going there for a reason and then hopping back out somewhere.
They could be hiding out there because it's too obvious.
That could be too. I like hideouts. Hideouts are fun. Those are fun in adventure movies.
So we just talked, we just did the Phantom Menace thing, and if you remember too, there is a scene where Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Anakin are all with Darth Maul on Tatooine, but it's like, that could be the beginning, the end, whatever. Oh, the big fight scene must be on this desert
Darth
planet.
Maul's just a peeping Tom for the bigger part of that scene. He's just like looking
they had to get him there, and just to shoot this one little thing. That's why he went. We also know that about Jonas too, is that like we did the report a while ago that most of his stuff was already shot, so he just had to come in and do this, whatever, but they flew him out just to shoot one scene or two scenes or whatever that they need. So it is worth it. And when you're talking about money too, Lacey, I also want to mention that Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams both just recently spoke about how they got a huge discount because they went to Jordan. So, you know, they're kind of making that move on purpose to save money on the production, or maybe that makes room for them to budget elsewhere, to have like a bigger special effects budget because the location shots were kind of low. But it all kind of depends or looking at maybe that would open up some money for them to be able to fly in these people for these extra scenes and stuff. I'm just saying,
right?
We'll talk about this stuff. Ignacium, speculation is great, but at the end of the day, like, who the heck knows? There's so many possibilities.
Or they can never even use it. They could shoot all this footage and never use it.
That would be
absolutely.
That would shock me, because they've apparently been there for like weeks.
Well, okay, that's fair too. But she says this right after I just bought Mission Impossible Fallout, and I watched about this whole stunt and this big thing, this big scene that they shot.
Is that the movie where Superman has a mustache?
Not in the movie.
Is that movie?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
They ruined my Superman. Love Henry Cavill. So James, you say the discount element of Jordan, right? That was a big part. So it could definitely be Jakku, but they're like, Abu Dhabi, little expensive-y, gonna go to Jordan, make it look like Jakku, be a little cheaper.
Make it look like Jakku.
Bob's a little happier. Okay.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I mean? I think it's Jakku. You guys think it's Jakku?
Yeah. Why does everybody want to go back to Jakku? It's like calling to me. That line is going to be said in episode 9.
You're saying Finn's going to say something like, here we are again. I can't believe it.
Why does everybody want to go back to Jakku?
I love that. Yeah, I agree. I love that.
Yeah, and that's good. I lean that way sometimes. I still stick to the platform of percentages. John, you brought up math earlier, and math still is a thing. So
it's tough.
Percentages it is more likely that we're going to visit a new planet, and it just so happens to also kind of be like a desert, barren, whatever. I know that seems crazy. If it were any planet that we've already visited or we've already seen within any sort of canon, there's no way it isn't Jakku. It's got to be Jakku, right?
Right.
That just makes so much sense. I still just want to play the numbers game. Okay. On the what I think it is. Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
It's Jakku.
I won many bets that it was not Tatooine.
It's Jakku.
when Force Awakens was coming out.
Oh, and the Force Awakens,
Because everybody was like, there's no way they're going back to a different sand planet. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, just logically,
James,
there's a good chance it's going to be another sand planet. And they're like, they would never do that. And then it was. It was another sand planet, and it wasn't Tatooine. So
I was surprised when I heard its name. I was like, Jakku, what the hell, man? You spelled Tatooine wrong. What's going on?
You spelled Tatooine wrong.
I just have to say, though, to close out my thoughts on this, I am just, like, you saw me, if you're watching on YouTube, get giddy. Like, hearing the whole crew being together, that is Star Wars to me. Like, that makes me so excited. If I'm going to see Chewie, R2, and 3PO together, like, joking around, and then the big three finally hanging out together, like, it makes me really excited. It makes me really excited.
Getting the gang back together.
Yeah.
So I want to say one more thing about that thing is as of now, I've won those bets, but those bets are still outstanding because my friend still swears that it's possible that they could still reveal it to be Tatooine in subsequent movies. He's holding on to hope, but he says, like, maybe they revealed that sometime in this 30-year period, they, for whatever reason, they hid away Tatooine, they recalled that planet Jakku, and they said, James, it's not the same planet.
What's your friend's name?
Just all this other stuff. My friend's name is Aaron DePasquale. He's my best friend, and he is...
Let the past die, Aaron.
With me.
Aaron, unlike characters in Star Wars, you have no hope.
but if he does win, he will officially have won the first ever now I forget the challenge. It's the Star Wars challenge, because that stems back from our old podcast. So Last Jedi challenge and Solo challenge. This was the Force Awakens challenge back before I was on this podcast, and he will have won it if he hasn't. That is Tatooine. Do you guys want to talk about the next story?
Yeah,
yes, I do, because Jakku has been settled.
So I'm really hoping I still win that. We got a new Star Wars YouTube channel coming specifically for kids called Star Wars Kids. This was announced on Wednesday of last week, and they are saying that it's going to open up the doors to people being able to, parents and stuff, being able to show their kids and get children interested in the Star Wars universe. And they're going to launch this whole thing with a new program called Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures. And they gave us the first trailer. And it has, as they put it, original voices, original dialogue, music, and sound effects, which when I first heard that, I thought, okay, cool, it's original music, as in like new music, new dialogue, new sound effects. But I think they're saying the original dialogue, the original music, and the original sound effects is what they're saying, with bold new animations. So this thing is nuts. Can I say it, guys? This thing is crazy, right?
Yeah.
This is like the anime Star Wars that we've always wanted, and it's official. We've gotten little hints at this stuff, like they said that Resistance was going to be like an anime style, and it was like, yeah. And then we got Lost Stars, the anime, and it's like, this is great, but, or the manga, I should say, but this is great, but is anybody really paying attention to Lost Stars? This is straight up original trilogy, all the movies, like being brought into this animation. I, for one, am like super psyched on this. I think this is like killer, awesome. I'm stoked on the channel, everything. Lacey, I'm jumping to you. What are your thoughts on this? Are you excited about this? Is this a good play? What do we think about Star Wars Kids? Is this Forces of Destiny all over again?
No, I think it's very different from Forces of Destiny. Right. They're basically, it reminded me of the little golden books that they have coming out for all the movies, where you can introduce your children into Star Wars before they can watch the movie and it's too scary. The same art and the way it looks very similar to this. And those books are beautiful, by the way. If you have a chance to get them, I bought them for a friend's kids when they took a trip to Disney. So not James, someone else. And they loved them. I thought they're just so cute, and it's a really fun way to get kids into Star Wars. I got into Star Wars pretty early at 2nd grade, but I would have loved to have this because growing up, you watch a lot of animation as it is. So to be able to break the movie into little bits and pieces, especially nowadays where kids' attention span seems to be a little bit smaller than what other kids back in the day. I feel like I could just sit in front of a TV forever, but now it's like, oh, what's the next big thing? So I think it's really cool. I loved the trailer. I thought it was really fun. It looks different from Forces of Destiny, different from Rebels, different from Resistance. I loved the scene where Luke lights up the lightsaber. I thought that was so cool. It was just so exciting. I would have loved to have this when I was little. I would have loved it.
Oh, yeah.
So, John, I'm going to ask you that these come out. We record in a little bit of a different time, but these come out on November 30th. So, as of recording, it's not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to tell you guys that, but we haven't seen the first of 6 episodes that they're doing.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that, like it's a Patreon thing, like when that episode comes out, maybe I'll do like a reaction to that or something. So hopefully cross your fingers or go check it out now because it's up.
Yeah.
But what do you think this is a good move? Are you excited? Do you think this is going to be like bits and pieces just from the original trilogy movies, or do you think they're going to do stuff from the prequels and Rogue One? I mean, we kind of saw that teased in the trailer, right?
Right. Yeah. I saw like Yoda and Dooku. So you're definitely gonna get some of that there. So I think they're gonna introduce it with the OG stuff, the stuff that everyone loves. So it's not less.
So those are the first 6 episodes. You think
that's
is
my
the original
guess?
Trilogy?
Yeah. Just so there's less, complaining of people who hate anything but stuff that was made in the 70s.
It does say
80s.
at the end of the announcement, additional shorts featuring fan favorite characters will debut in December with regular releases following in 2019.
Right.
Now, in my reading, it says the first of 6 shorts coming out, but it says other fan favorite characters will be in December. Does that mean they're releasing all 6 on the 30th? Am I wrong?
I don't know about that.
Okay, because they used to release Forces of Destiny like episode by episode, and then later they were just like, here they all are.
I wouldn't think to compare the two, like Forces of Destiny and Forces of Destiny. No, I'm really excited about this. I tried to show a lot of excitement about Resistance. I don't dislike it. I'm still trying to get it to get going for me. It's a little too pastel looking for me color-wise. Kaz, I need a little more from that guy. But when I saw this, like, it just made me feel like a kid again, like genuinely. The colors are rich, the animation is vibrant, action-packed, and then hearing the old dialogue, hearing Alec Guinness in an animated form handing Mark Hamill a lightsaber, I was like, wow, that is awesome. And then hearing Han and Chewie, see if this works, try it, and then Chewie gets electrocuted. It's gonna take the great moments that we love from the old stuff and do things to them that they're not able to do organically as live action. So I'm very interested in that. And of course, John Williams' old scores, love it. This genuinely, truly got me really excited. So I'm going to burn through these. I guess they're out now, like you're saying, as people are listening to this. So I probably already have burned through them. And looking forward to what's to come. Whether they see that there's a good response to it and then say, well, let's push the envelope and try this stuff. Not just the original trilogy. So I think they're testing it out with the stuff they know works, and then they're going to expand it if people wind up digging it.
So, Lacey, let me ask you, what do you think we could expect from the Star Wars Kids YouTube channel? Is it going to be continued programming like this content? Is it going to be stuff like the Star Wars show, but just like totally directed at like fundamental learning, like Mr. Rogers meets Star Wars show kind of thing? What do you think we're going to get on Star Wars Kids YouTube channel?
I think you're going to get these types of things like creative shorts. I think you're going to get trailers for shows on Disney XD. I think you're going to get probably some type of like toy unboxings for Star Wars toys from popular YouTubers. I think you're going to get different type of content like cooking shows, or I don't know, just like fun activities for kids to do. Like, I guarantee that's what it's going to be. It's going to be all that kid stuff that they normally have on the Star Wars page on this page, so that parents, if they're handing off an iPad, don't have to be nervous that they're watching the 10 most deadly moments of Darth Vader with a 4-year-old. You know, it's all like, why is Yoda so funny? And then it's going to be like funny moments of Yoda. Just more of the wholesome stuff, because nowadays, especially YouTube, it's super, and this is going a little off topic, but it's super dangerous to just hand your kid an iPad and say, go ahead, go on YouTube, because 3 clicks in, they're going to get something that has nothing to do with what they were originally watching with, because of the way people tag things nowadays. So I'm sure Disney's trying to give an outlet that parents can hand over that iPad and be on one channel and know that all the content is directed at children and is done by something that they trust.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Can you, on YouTube, can you say autoplay but stick to this channel only? Is that a feature?
I think they have parental controls that you can say only certain channels are accessible. But
that's a good point.
They can definitely do
like any
locked
one of these
playlists. Yeah, you can definitely do locked playlists.
They should lock out the Forces of Destiny episode that has Chewie acting like a coward.
Okay.
John, you have so much resentment for that.
He's mighty. He's a mighty mug.
I think that if you're a parent listening, you should add these videos to your...
Yeah, we're family friendly.
To your playlist.
Please don't.
Yeah,
your kid
friendly.
shouldn't learn anything from me.
All right. Well, I think there's not too much more we can say about that. It's very ambiguous at this point. They gave us the trailer. They said it's coming, and I think we're all just kind of like blown away by the trailer, excited for the future of what Star Wars Adventures is going to be, or Galaxy of Adventures, and what the new channel Star Wars Kids is also going to be. But other than that, I think that's basically about all the main news that we got. We do have a couple things that we want to run down. Wink.
Every week.
Wink. So we got to send it over to our local scoundrel, John Hoey, for the Scoundrels Run.
All right, let's try it again, guys. On the count of 3.
What?
Me,
3
these guys, you. On
you.
3.
Scotty J. Rowe.
1, 2, 3. Punch it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Punch it.
Punch it.
Punch it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So only one story here. There was a photo recently flying around the internet from The Force Awakens that shows a different actor who was playing Luke Skywalker from Cloud City, Bespin, in Rey's Force vision in The Force Awakens. And people are like, oh my God, who is this? What is this? So
we've talked about this.
That guy was...
Looks like a weird Rob Thomas, kind of.
Looks like a weird Rob Thomas. He was supposed to play Luke in that vision, in that fight, in that hallway, and they, I guess, wound up taking it out. So the photo actually originated from Star Wars Newsnet.
Sucks for him.
About 3 years ago. There's a rundown, James. Let's pipe down now. From about 3 or 4 years ago, that photo was from Star Wars Newsnet, and they had also posted, this is before I was around, they posted a photo of Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, in his Jedi robe. And immediately had Lucasfilm tag it and Disney tag it and say, take it down, and Star Wars Newsnet took it down. And they had 4 other photos that they just didn't release until this week. So they honored that, and they said, you know what, we respect you, we'll take them down, won't do it. So this week they were like, it's been 4 years, we could probably put them out. So we put out the photos. They were Luke in his Jedi robe, this guy who was playing Luke from Cloud City in Rey's Force Vision, Lor San Tekka in his full outfit, and Finn with his lightsaber and Takodana, which would have been a huge spoiler if we had put that out, and some alien animatronic characters. So, like I said, Star Wars Newsnet played ball, and I think we were better off for having done that at the time. But it was cool to be able to say, all right, there's all the photos 4 years later. And actually, I think I remember. I used to go to Star Wars Newsnet all the time, and I remember like someone was like, "There's a photo of Luke Skywalker in his robe," and I went on. It was like, "This photo's been taken down." I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
Damn
I saw
it.
the photo when it came out.
Yeah. So that's it for the rundown this week. Again, news is going to be picking up in 2019, so the rundown's going to be loaded, chock full of news. But until then, that is it for this week's Scoundrels Rundown. We're going to hand it over to Lacey to see what you guys said and asked us, I should say, and asked the Resistance. So Chewie, my friend, get us out of here, pal.
All right, guys.
Punch it.
All right, guys, it's that time again for Ask the Resistance. You guys have Star Wars questions, and we have some hopefully good answers.
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
So our first question comes from Shannon Smith at Shannon Nick Smith, and she asks, what do you think Star Wars would be like without the Skywalkers? So I'm going to start, ladies first. What do I think? It's tough for me because that's how I got into Star Wars, was with Luke Skywalker and Leia. So it's hard to think of Star Wars without them, and I don't think that's ever going to be the case, that they're not going to be associated with Star Wars. But I think there are really interesting stories to tell throughout the universe that they're getting into now. So what it would be like, it's going to be sad that this is the final chapter. I don't think it's the end, and I've said that before. Like, they're going to advertise this as the final chapter. I really don't think it's going to be. So it's going to be sad, but I think you're going to hear a lot of callbacks through all these other things for the Skywalkers. And I think that, James is super excited about all these new characters and new ideas and new stories. And I am too. I think it's time that we grow the universe. They've grown other universes like Harry Potter and, Marvel, and everybody's always been like, oh, I don't know about this character. And then they end up loving it. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, no one had ever heard of Guardians of the Galaxy before they came out. And now they're like such a big deal.
Tano.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's exciting, and I think it's going to be a little bittersweet, but I think everyone should be excited about the new stories that are coming. Next
well
is
done,
from...
Lacey. No one ever gets, because Lacey hosts. No one ever, neither of us ever say, great answer, Lacey. So, good job, Lacey.
Jorge Alegre at Jorge7224 says, do you think JJ will find a way in episode 9 to have the big three appear together on screen in at least one scene, perhaps in some sort of flashback? ? James, what do you think?
All right.
So
I don't know
this
if
has
this
to
is
be
hot.
Han, Luke, and Leia he's talking about, I guess.
Yeah. Did you not take it that way?
Well,
no, I do now, but when I was reading it, I didn't take it that way because we had just talked about Poe and Finn and Rey. And I was like, oh,
interesting. No, I read it as the original big three.
Okay.
I don't know if this is hot take or not, but I am going to say yes.
I hate when people say
I think that there is a very strong chance that, number one, going back to when Leia didn't hug Chewbacca, JJ took that and he goes, yeah, you're right. That was a criticism. People really felt weird about that. I should have done that. Right. And one of the other criticisms is now, because the movie's out and because Carrie Fisher has passed and Han Solo died in the first movie and now Luke, you know what I mean? It's just so many of these factors, people have drawn to the conclusion that we've now officially missed the opportunity for that to happen. And you can't fault Rian Johnson for that because it was J.J. Abrams that killed off Han at first. And it was J.J. Abrams that made the choice to not put him in the movie in the first place.
And Harrison Ford wanted to die.
Yeah. I think that...
Well, he wanted Han Solo to die. Harrison Ford doesn't want to die.
No. I meant his character. Sorry.
Exclusive. Lacey Gillerin says Harrison Ford wanted to die.
Stop. No.
Lacey Gillerin's the one who hit Han Solo with that door.
Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo to die in Return of the Jedi.
Sorry,
as
James.
Most people know, but we should also bring that up so it doesn't seem like JJ killed him. He did kill him, but not necessarily. He wanted to probably be a part of it.
So I think that if there was one thing that you could put your finger on that would say, I'm going to wrap this whole thing up with a pretty bow and try to remedy any lost souls on what we've done so far with this franchise, I think the single best thing you could do is figure out a way to somehow show those three together in any method possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree.
It just seems like the single most perfect thing you could do to try to appease everybody and bring everybody back in for that feel-good finale.
Did we have that? Didn't we? I think we may have done this in Will of the Force, where we kind of touched on this, like, will it happen? Could it happen? But I think we should talk about it more in the future. But I am with you, James. I agree with you on that. You know what I'm thinking? You just said, like, it'll ease the souls that were upset. Like, it makes me think of, you ever see Ghostbusters 2?
Yeah.
Either of you?
Yes.
You know, at the end when they get, like, doused in the slime, then they wake up and they're all, like, happy?
Yes.
So all these fans are going to be, like, doused in JJ's green slime, or yellow slime, pink slime. They're going to be like, I feel wonderful. Thank you, JJ.
So weird.
It's a
That was the
Ghostbusters
weirdest
2 reference.
That was the weirdest thing you've said in the time that I've been on this podcast.
Oh, well, we have more time
And
down the
next, Arturito Jedi Bianconero. I'm going to get that eventually. Ad Grey Jedi says, hey, guys. Yesterday during my Star Wars Trivia Tuesday victory, I had one question wrong.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. I had one question wrong I almost challenged. The question was, what is Leia's middle name? According to them, it's Amidala. Is this canon or EU? I don't remember seeing that in any book or movie. John, what do you think?
Okay, so I actually looked into this a little bit, and I believe... All right, now, before, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the guy who had asked us to retweet a GoFundMe for his niece who is having some problems with some health problems. So I hope everything's all well with you, and I hope our retweet helped you out in any way. So all my thoughts with you on that. As far as this question, so according to the Wikipedia via the Star Wars Encyclopedia, which is canon, Leia's birth name was Leia Amidala Skywalker. And then immediately that got changed as soon as the Organas adopted her. So I guess technically when she was born, Uba, she was Padme Amidala Skywalker. So, yeah, so I guess technically they got you there. But, hey, it didn't hinder you because you won. So congratulations on your trivia win. But, yeah, so as far as I understand it, and the canon encyclopedias and all that stuff, they are right. Amidala was her middle name, and Skywalker was her last name for like 5 minutes. So thanks for the question. Good question. And I learned something today. So that's good.
Wow. I didn't know.
All right, cool. So our final question comes from our General Leia, Adam Odell, patron. Thank you, Adam. He's a general level patron.
Yes.
He asks, cooler ships and fighters, Empire or Rebels? I'm assuming this also includes First Order versus Resistance. For me, this is no contest. Empire all the way. So this is for all of us. Quickly, James. I'm going to say Empire First Order, obviously.
Rebels. Hands down. Yeah. No questions whatsoever.
Rebels.
The B-Wing, the Y-Wing,
Are you saying
the A-Wing,
Rebels
all
because
that
of
stuff is
the Millennium Falcon? Is that what you're about to say, John?
No, but that's a good point. I'm going to say because the X-Wings are really badass, and the Empire stuff looks like pasta, like bow tie soup stuff, so boring.
I like the TIE Silencer.
Oh, of course you like the TIE Silencer.
It's the coolest ship.
Ugh. Adam, the correct answer is Rebels. Me and James are right. Lacey's wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah.
But thank you anyway,
right.
General.
Yes, thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your questions. If you want to be on the show, make sure to tweet your questions to us using hashtag AskTheResistance, and our handle is at RBATSWNN. Back to you, John.
Yes. Oh, and Lacey, they had asked us to post to them in the patrons have asked us to post a field for questions on the patron page so that they can throw them there so they can scurry their way to the front of the line.
A really slow wink.
The double
double
wink,
eye.
double-barreled wink. All right.
Yeah. Okay, back to you, John.
Cool, guys. We are at the end of this episode. Obviously, there's always hijinks that these guys try to throw me off on my outro, which is cool. I'm sure. Oh, no Akbar! Lacey doesn't have her Akbar. Woo! Okay, this is going to be a good one.
It's a Patreon.
Damn it.
Wait.
James is going to like Photoshop it in. He's not that good. All right.
James.
So,
Whoa. No, I'm just kidding.
all right, guys. You guys can always find us right here on YouTube if you're watching.
Keyframe it, James.
How are you? iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, a bunch of other places that we didn't even know we're on there. Thank you to Fantha Tracks. You guys are always sharing our podcast. We appreciate that. Star Wars Time is always sharing every episode. Again, we don't thank you guys enough, so thank you so much. You guys can head
Thanks to the Black Series Rebels that have been pushing our T-shirt.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Hey, thanks, Raz.
Those guys, congrats on you guys selling your pins faster than Springsteen sells tickets in Jersey.
I'm very sad about it.
Yeah. And Matt Martin pushed that too, so I guess they won't get sued for that shirt. Good job, guys.
I'm really sad.
You guys, we've been talking about our Patreon a lot. Again, real quick, you can go to patreon.com/Resistance Broadcast. We have our The Phantom Menace commentary is right there right now for you guys to check out. It's $2 a month as an entry level there, or if you want to be like General Adam, tier 5.
Or Thomas.
Or Thomas, yes. I'm getting to that. But yeah, go check it out. We have a bunch of stuff on there pretty much every day. We try to be very active on that thing, so we appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys do head to StarWarsNewsNet.com every day for your latest Star Wars news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. And also you can go to tpublic.com/user/Resistance Broadcast. We have 40 designs, including our brand new logo Aerobesh t-shirts and our TRB variant t-shirts. Designed by James Bainey right here.
James.
So go over there, check it out, pick one up, and if you wear one at Celebration, I promise you, you will not get hit in the face with a pie. That is confirmed.
But James is going to get hit in the face with a pie.
James may get hit in the face.
We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that. Guys, that brings us towards the end of the show. Again, my name is John Hoey. You can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey. James Bainey, how about you, sir?
You can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at Meyer Trunks, or since I'm the person that runs our Instagram, you can find me recording a video right now of us for our Instagram stories. Wave, guys.
Hey!
Wave.
Am I on the internet?
Yeah.
Hey!
They can't hear you,
Instagram
John. They
what?
can only hear me.
Oh.
I'm Insta-famous.
Instagram.
Whoa, there's now it's doing that. All right, send to. There you go. Your story. People are going to have flashbacks to getting that. But Lacey, where can they find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Lacey Gillerin, where I talk about Star Wars and my love for all things Star Wars, including Kylo Ren. And then people can also find me on Instagram, where I'll probably have highlights of my trip to Disney and meeting Kylo Ren for like the 5th time.
Ooh.
So make sure to check that out as well.
And let's remind Lacey, it's just some guy named like Jeff in the costume.
I know, and I've met him like 6 times.
And Jeff's anytime it's a random person, I go with Jeff. I don't know why. But Jeff's probably like, I remember Lacey. I'm Jeff.
I always go with
I've done
Bob
a lot of this
Smith. He's my
tonight.
go-to
I'm really
random
it's
name.
bothering me now. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
All right, guys. And once again, I do want to thank our generals on our Patreon tier, Thomas and Adam
Is that how you do
Odell.
it? I'm going to
Gentlemen,
get corrected by someone.
thank you so much for your support, being generals in the Resistance. We appreciate it so much. And guys, that is it. We will enjoy your weeks. We will see you on Thursday, where we're going to get into a discussion where is Star Wars via TV taken over? Move aside theatrical films. TV is the future. We're going to discuss all that from every angle, as we always do. So enjoy your weeks, and we'll see you next time right here on the Resistance Broadcast. See you around, kids.
Bye, guys.
Ooh, bye.
Bye.